بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Assalamu alaikum again and welcome to another episode of التعبير القرآني by Dr. Fadil Samirai. And we're going to continue off where we left yesterday. So we had started on page 5. We did at least half of it. And we're going to start the next half of it, inshallah. Okay. So if there's any, I see some people already have raised their hands. Good. So whoever wants to participate, you can raise your hand and then we'll figure this out. So we have Sayyidah Fahima, Fawzia, and Saima. Okay, great. So we're going to divide this section into 3 so that each one of you gets to do a section. So let me just see where we can end. So, the problem is that it's quite connected, so let's see. And maybe, I don't know if this would be too big. Okay, maybe we can stop there. First section. And then let's see if we can. I'm trying to divide it as equally as I can, but it's not obviously equal. It's just that the sentences are really long in this section. Let's do that. Let's see if we can be able to do that. Oh, there's more people. Okay. Okay. So there's one more person. So okay, I can make this smaller. I'm trying to figure out the sections. Let's see. In that case, we can say there. Let's try to there, and then I guess here, 2, and here. Yeah, I think that's good division right there. So we'll have the first person, Sayyidah Fahima, you can do the first section, then Fawzia, then Saima, then Niana. Okay, Sayyidah, we can begin. Sayyidah Fahima, you're mute. Can you guys hear me? I hope I'm audible. So sorry, guys. I don't know what happened. And I don't know if you had me say anything. My internet seems to be a bit unstable. Hopefully it's good enough now. Can you guys hear me fine?
Yes.
Okay, good. So I'm going to start that again. I'm going to start the session again, just in case. Okay, great.
Sister Ilham, I was asking you something before I proceed with this class.
Yes.
I was watching your video yesterday for the previous class, and I was not able to understand the way they have constructed the sentence called "an yahulu bayn al-Qur'ani wa asma'in nasi." So that they make inaccessible between the Quran and the hearing of the people. and you said me like you could tell it as they made the Quran inaccessible to the people,
Yeah, to the ears of the people.
to the
So it's more
ears of
it's more of a template. So if you go to Hansware, if you go to Hansware, you would see this template. Like if you go to if you look for this word, hala, so you'd find that an yahulu bayna something and something. It's basically means to make something inaccessible to something. So it's more of a template, but the way you can understand it, you can just break it down. So yahulu, to come to surround. Yeah. So إلى أن يحولوا بين القرآن وأسماع الناس. So they wanted to basically put a barrier between the Quran and people's ears. That's
Asma
more
is
or
a
less.
hearing. Asma is a hearing, right? Hearing of the people.
Yes. Yeah. People's hearing.
People's hearing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you can just say people's ears is fine. Oh, I get what
It's
you're
still
saying. Yeah. Yeah. So this is the masdar, yes. Asma'i, the hearing.
people's hearing. Okay.
Is that clearer?
Can I start? Yeah. Alhamdulillah.
Okay. Now you can begin.
Because I was trying to make out the sentence with that, but I wasn't able to make it. So it's there in the Hansware, it's a kind of a template you meant to say.
Yes.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وكان صناديد قريش وآتاهم محاربة للرسول وأشدهم كيدا له ونيلا منه لا يملكون أنفسهم عن سماعه. Am I correct? Should I just try to translate this one?
Yeah, you can try that. But I'm trying to. How did you read this part?
Which one? أشدهم.
So you're making ma'atuf to which part?
I don't know what I did, but I wrote ashaddu.
It's fine. It's fine. So if you read it as wa'ashaddu, so this will mean it is ma'atuf to a'tahum. I will go back.
I was thinking the most severe of them. Like I was thinking like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that works.
Okay. Should I continue or should I try to translate to Stella? I'm not pretty much aware of these words.
Yes, try to translate up to there, and then we'll figure out the grammatical breakdown, then we'll move on.
Okay, so Sanadidul Quraysh, the powerful of Quraysh, the Quraysh, right, sister? Sanadidul Quraysh. The powerful
you can say the most courageous of them, or the boldest.
Yeah, the most courageous of Quraysh. Quraysh وآتاهم آتاهم. I don't know about آتاهم. Who
it's translated as insolent. So the most insolent of them.
The most powerful.
You can say
Quraysh
powerful
and
as
most
well.
insolence of them. Most powerful. Yeah, just what the most powerful of Quraysh and most insolence of them. Fought muharabatan lirrasuli, fought for the messenger, and were ashadduhum, and were most ashadduhum, most strong, sister, most strong of them, plotted for him, were nailan, and criticized him, against him, minhu, against him, la yamlikuna anfusahum, and they couldn't restrain themselves, an sama'ihim, from listening to him.
Okay. So there's
I
quite
don't know
a
how.
lot that is happening in this part. It's very simple. It's just a basic jumla ismiya kana and it's khabar. But because there's so much happening, you probably cannot see it from the get-go. But we're going to break it down and make sure that you understand what's happening. Okay. So a couple of things. Like I always say, when you're looking at an ism, just break it down to its basic fundamental parts. So we're looking at a jumla ismiya. We're looking for mubtada, khabar, muta'alliq. We know it's kana sanadidu. You read that correctly. Kana sanadidu Qurayshin. So we see that this is the ism of kana. Okay, so the chain, you can see the chain continuing. Sanadidu Qurayshin, mudaf mudaf ilay. And then you have harf ataf, wa'atahum. So this means it's still connected. So the chain is going. And then you reach here, and it feels like there's a break in the chain, right? Because you can't see the connection between muharibatan and atahum. So you're going to pause there first and ask yourself, okay, what could this be? And because it's mansub, there are a couple of things that is mansub. So immediately, probably you're thinking, okay, this is the khabar of kana because I have kana, I have the ism kana. And this most likely is the khabar of kana. But then when you move, you see what ashadda. There's a harf atif that is connecting. So, and this ashaddu is connecting back to ahtahum. So it almost feels like maybe this, it wasn't really a break in the chain and this part is still continuing. Yeah. So now you have to ask yourself, okay, so if this is not the khabar of kana, then why is it nasab? And therefore, what is it doing in the sentence? Okay. So there are so many things, like I have mentioned before, that make an isim nasab. About 16 different things that make an isim nasab. So it's quite a long list to go through it. But when you just look at it, you can immediately gain a sense of, like, when you ask yourself, what question is it answering? Muharibatan lirrasuli. This looks like a hal of the insolent ones. A'tahum. So the ones who are most insolent, the ones who are most vicious in fighting, while fighting the Prophet. So you can even say the most vicious or the most insolent among them while fighting the messenger. So you see how this part is all connected. So this is one bucket. A'tahum muharibatan. So it is clarifying. Muharibatan is sort of like explaining how they're insolent. You can even look at it as a tamyiz of some sort. Like it's giving more information about a'tahum. How are they insolent? How are they in terms of fighting the messenger? So that's one bucket. And then you see the waw harf atif is still continuing. Wa ashadduhum, again, because it's continuing off from a'tahum. Ashadduhum, and in the most intense in terms of what? Kaidan. So this is a tamyiz. Sorry, I said hal, but I meant tamyiz. So this is a tamyiz of a'tahum, and kaidan is a tamyiz of ashadduhum. So again, this part is also one bucket. Ashadduhum, the most intense in terms of what? In terms of plotting against him, wa nailan minhu, and trying to get him, trying to catch him, trying to obtain him. So nala, to catch something, to obtain, to access, to acquire something. So they were the most intense in plotting against him. They were the most intense in trying to catch him. So you see how you have to identify the blocks and how they're related to each other. So now you can see how the harf atif goes on. So sanadidu Quraysh wa a'tahum wa ashadduhum. Now that's how all that from here to all the way to here, that makes up the ism of kana. So the whole thing is ism of kana. Is that clear so far? Does that make any sense there? Can I repeat something?
So now I was saying this is because this is a superlative form. So that is why we are taking as in comparison of what? Superlative in what form? That is why this is tamiz. It's
Yes.
vague and it's showing what is in reason for that, right?
Exactly.
That is why kana sanadidu Quraysh wa atahum. This is what word is this? Atahum. I did not get it. Atahum. What is it? Actual word is?
Oh, it's ata, I think. Let me just confirm that.
Isn't it ism tafdeel also?
In this case, yes, it is isim tafdeel, like akbaru. And that's why,
Yeah, but
we have tamyiz.
I was not able to figure out this word. So that's how I couldn't figure out this is tamyiz.
All of them are tamyiz. A'ta and ashaddu are tamyiz.
Oh no, ata ashaddu is ism tabdil, right?
Yes.
And muharabatan is a tamyiz of atahum, right?
Muharibatan is the tamyiz of a'tahum, yes.
But then what lir rasuli? How can you join lir rasuli with? How can we join lir
Muharibatan?
rasuli with this?
What kind of a word is muharib?
Harb. It's a
Muharibun.
It's a ism
Mujahid.
fa'il.
Isim fa'il.
Ism fa'il.
Exactly. So sometimes isim fa'il, they can act as a fi'il. So you can have a muta'alliq to an isim fa'il. So lir rasuli is muta'alliq to muhariba.
Can it not be the masdar of the Jahada family? Muharabat.
No. This is that would have a fatha, mujahada. This is muhariba.
It's a re. Oh.
Yes. Yeah.
Muharibatan or muharobatan?
Muharibatan. Like
Muharibatan.
yes. Mujahidatan. No, not mujahidatan, sorry. Mujahidatan basically. Like mufa'ilatan. The pattern of isim fa'il.
Asaddu.
Or is it muharaba? I'm not so sure. Is it masdar? It could also be masdar,
Yeah.
I think it's
Muharobatan.
Muharabatan. Am I confused? I think you're right. It could be the masdar of jahada muharabatan.
Yeah.
But either way.
And masdars also, and don't masdars also act as fail?
Right. Exactly. So either way, the meaning is the same, whether you take it as a isim fa'il or a masdar, because they mean the same thing, fighting. You can translate isim fa'il with ing. You can translate the masdar with ing. I don't know how we read it I don't remember how we read it in the book or how Ustad Jawad read it. Whether he read it as isim fa'il or masdar. I'm not so sure.
I don't think they read the first chapter, did they? I thought they started later.
So let me just check.
Yeah, we didn't actually read these chapters because Ustad was only taking up questions. So we didn't actually read this chapter. But if I am looking at the sentence construction, if you look further, the Kaidan is also a masdar, Nilan is also a masdar, so probably this is also a masdar. And if you take it as ism file, then we'll get this ing concept but then it will become the khabar.
No,
it will become the khabar of atahu.
No,
right?
It's still a tamyiz. It can't become the khabar. Still a tamyiz.
So I think looking at the rest of the sentence, maybe we can take it as a masdar also, because rest are masdar. All of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And also because of the ta marbuta, like why should it have a ta marbuta if it's an ism fa'il?
Yeah.
So
that's what I was thinking. Maybe because it is feminine, because ata is plural, but it doesn't happen in Arabic like this, doesn't it? It happens only in Quran, but in MSA it doesn't happen. They take it as a plural. Right. So I think it's a masdar. It makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense as a masdar. So muharabatan, not muharibatan, but muharabatan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Thank you, guys. So basically insolent, like they were very rude, they were very vicious, they were very arrogant, disrespectful in fighting or while fighting. Why am I saying while fighting? No, in terms of fighting the messenger. So that's how it comes in. So this is اسم تفضيل. When you're asking something, you couldn't find
the word atahum, what is the actual word and how
So
it
the-
is yeah.
So the word is ata ya'tu, like da'a, like that.
Ata,
Mm.
ata yatu.
Yes. Ata ya'tu. That's the word.
So still
So
on
it's
this
not
ata, it's ism file. It's ism, right? Ata ya'tu.
this. No. This is
Yeah.
ماضي. ata ya'tu, ماضي مضارع. But a'ta is like akbaru. So
Yes,
this is
that's what I
اسم
was.
تفضيل.
Ata is ism tafdeel,
Yes.
but it has a normal form also, right? Normal form, comparative form, superlative form. I was saying that. Isn't
Yeah,
it
so
right?
اسم تفضيل is just two in Arabic, is comparative and superlative. Ata,
Okay.
if it comes as, so now this is, we'll translate that as the most because it's coming as a mudaf mudaf ilayh. When it comes as a mudaf mudaf ilayh, we translate it as superlative, the most. Or if it has al on it, we also translate it as superlative. But if it just comes as a'ta min, if it comes with a min, then now it's comparative.
Comparative, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is whole is the ism of kana.
This is, yes, the whole thing up to here is the ism of kana. Yeah.
And I
So
was
you can
is khabar of kana and something.
Yeah, I know. We also got stuck here when we were doing this initially. We were like, it looks like a khabar of kana. Is this the khabar of kana? But then you read ahead and you realize it doesn't make sense as the khabar of kana. So when you block it like this, you see, okay, this is isim tafdeel. This is the tamyiz of isim tafdeel. This is the muta'alliq of this. Sorry. Oh, yeah. What have I done? Okay. So للرسول is the متعلق to محاربة, and you see that's one block. And then of course now there's a harf atuf that is connecting this first block to this second block. And then now you pull everything together and you see now the entire thing is an ism of kana. Right? Yeah. And of course now what is remaining, we found the ism of kana. Whatever is remaining is the khabar of kana. So whatever comes after that is going to be the khabar of kana. So now this sentence, لا يملكون أنفسهم عن سماعه, would be the khabar of kana. So you'll put your invisible is there. Right?
So Sonadi du Quraisy is mubtada.
Yeah, so this whole thing would be the mubtada from kana صناديد قريش وأعطاهم محاربة للرسول وأشدهم كيدا له ونيلا منه. That whole thing is our mubtada.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So when you're translating this, once you've figured all this part, when you're translating, you will start with Sanadidu Quraysh. So the most courageous of the Quraysh and the most insolent in terms of fighting the Prophet, and the most intense in trying to in plotting against him and trying to get them were or couldn't, now because it's la yamlikuna, you would say they couldn't la yamlikuna anfusahum, they couldn't control themselves, or they couldn't prevent themselves from hearing it. They couldn't control themselves from hearing it.
Still, I'm not able to make. What is there? Are you able to? Because the most powerful of the Quraysh and the most insolent one in terms of fighting with Prophet ﷺ, and the most severe of them plotting against him, and is
trying to get them.
Is
nala yanalu nailan, trying to cut or obtain, acquire.
And trying to obtain from him is not controlling themselves from his hearing.
Were not. Kana la. Were not. They were not able to control themselves. So it's like saying okay, so let's forget everything that we've said. Just imagine this sentence was kana qurayshun la yamlikuna anfusahum an sama'ih. We remove all this and just substitute it with Quraysh. If I just said like that, the Quraysh were not able to control themselves. That makes sense, right?
Yes.
So now replace Quraysh with several descriptions. The Quraysh, the most insolent of Quraysh, who are fighting the Prophet so much and doing this, and you just add so many things, and then you say couldn't control themselves. Do you see how that works? Like it's just, they just extended the description of Quraysh with so many other things, but it's just Quraysh basically. Yeah.
Yes, sister. Got it. Alhamdulillah.
Okay, great.
Should I start to continue?
So let's figure out la yamlikuna anfusahum. So I think we did this part already before. So yamlikuna, this is fi'al mudara. The fa'il is hum, the inside pronoun hum, and then anfusahum, of course, maf'ul bihi of yamlikuna, an sama'ihi, jar majroor muta'alliq to yamlikuna. I think that's pretty straightforward, unless there's a question there or any clarification.
I just have a
Yeah,
comment on
Sister
Nailan.
Elma,
Okay.
can you repeat the translation for Nailan minhu, please? Jazakallah
Nailan,
khair.
so nala yanalu nailan, to obtain something, to acquire something, to catch something, to
Yeah.
access something. So here you would translate it
Okay.
as, and the most intense or the most severe in plotting against him and trying to catch him. Nalan mean
Trying to
to-
cut him.
yeah, to catch him.
To cut
I
him.
also
Okay.
found the meaning of to damage, to harm, and to slander. So I put
As
slander
Nailan.
there. Yeah, it's in hands with min.
Oh, right. With min. You're right. It's because I didn't factor in the min. Yes. When it comes with min,
I
it
wrote
has,
it like attacking him, something like that.
yeah. Yeah, you're right. When it comes with min, it has those meanings of, yeah.
Translate nailan with against. Is that correct also?
Against.
Yeah, against.
So just against without anything else, like slander or harm. Harm, I think, works best yet. Trying to harm him.
Oh, to harm. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think those are the meanings mentioned in Hanzwe. I forgot. It's been a while since I did this book, guys. So I appreciate you guys, like, asking me these tough questions and, poking me. It's really good. I really appreciate it. Alhamdulillah. Okay. So is that part clear? There was somebody else with another question or something. Okay, I think that's clear. All right, Fahima, you can go on.
فقد كان كل من أبي جهل I should say جهل or أبي جهل
Jahlin? Yeah, because it's an Arab word.
Okay. من أبي جهل وأبي سفيان والأخنس بن شريح
Akhnas.
يأخذ أخنس بن شريح يأخذ نفسه خلصة للسماء في الليل والرسول. Sorry.
I know in the book it
I
says,
didn't get you.
or in the PDF it says khilsatan, but I think the correct pronunciation is khulsatan with khu, because I couldn't find khilsatan. I don't know. But khulsatan is there. Yeah.
خلصة لسماعه في الليل والرسول في بيته لا يعلمون بمكانهم.
Could you read from what Rasul?
والرسول
Why make it jar?
Okay, let me
Oh, you're
see.
connecting it to fi.
في الليل والرسول. This with a في واو بس حرف فتح السلام.
It's waw haliya.
حال. So it's والرسول.
So it's a new, yes.
Yeah.
It's a new sentence, we can just say. Okay, let's look at it as a new sentence.
حال is
But
حال
the whole
means it's not
sentence?
مفعول.
If it's just a word, if it's just an ism, If it's just an ism, then it has to be nasab. But if it's an entire sentence, then it's just a jumla. You treat it like an entire sentence. If it's a jumla ismiya, then it's mubtada khabar. So the mubtada will be rafa, the khabar will be rafa. But if it's a jumla fi'liya, you treat it like a jumla fi'liya, just the way it is.
Is it
So in
hal,
this-
Sister Hal?
The whole sentence, yes. وَالرَّسُولُ فِي بَيْتِهِ لَا يَعْلَمُ بِمَكَانِهِمْ. The entire sentence.
Okay, I'll just try to translate. I don't know. I'll just try to translate it, Sister Hal.
Okay.
So it comes as it from the so كان كله couldn't restrain themselves from listening to Abu Jahl. كان كله من Abu Jahl, from Abu Jahl, Abu Sufyan and Al-Khinnas would themselves listen to him.
يأخذ نفسه.
Would take it to themselves, right? Would take it to themselves.
Take themselves. يأخذ نفسه.
Take themselves.
Uh-huh.
خلصة لسماعه. Take themselves. خلصة, I don't know. خلصة, because I didn't find this word.
Stealthily.
Secretly also.
Yeah. Secretly, stealthily, quietly.
Secretly listen to him at night, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam fi baytihi, in his house, doesn't know bimakanihim, about their situation,
Their places.
about their places.
Yeah, or where they were. بمكان where they were. Okay. So yeah, that's
If you read
good.
it as while Prophet
Mm-hmm.
in his house was not aware of their position. Something.
Yes. Yeah, that's
Abi
exactly it.
Sufyana or Abi Sufyani, actually.
Sufyani.
Sufyani, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, all of them, they're going to be Abi Sufyanin. I think Sufyanin, I'm not so sure. والأخنس ibn Shurayqin. So because they're Arab names, all of them are Arab names. So there's no reason for it not to have a tanween. And they're not foreign names. And they're not feminine names as well. So they're going to be fully flexible. Okay, so let's break it down. Okay, so فقد كان. So we have a kana sentence. We're looking at a jumla ismiya. So that's why we have kullun, which is now our ism. Now kullun is connected to min Abi Jahlin wa Abi Sufyanin wal Akhnas ibn Shurayqin, all that. So this whole part is our ism of kana. Okay, and the idea is everyone from Abu Jahl to Abu Sufyan to Al-Akhnas ibn Shurayq, that's kind of like the message is being said. They used to take themselves. So when you see this template, kullun means every one of, or each one of. So each one from Abu Jahl to Abu Sufyan to Al-Akhnas ibn Shurayq, kana ya'khudhu nafsahu. They used to take themselves, or he used to take themselves. Yeah, he used to take themselves. خلصة, secretly, stealthily, quietly, لسماعه, to hear it, في الليل, in the night, والرسول في بيته, and the messenger is while the messenger is in his house, لا يعلم بمكانهم. He is unaware of their position, or of their place where they are. So that's the message. Okay, so now we figured out the isim of kana. This whole part is the isim of kana, which means whatever comes after it is going to be the khabar of kana. Okay, so now we're looking at يأخذ نفسه خلصة لسماعه في الليل. So that whole part is connected. How? Because this is a jumla fi'liya. يأخذ is the fi'il. The fa'il is the inside pronoun هو. يأخذ هو يأخذ. And then نفسه is the مفعول به. Okay, and then خلصة is describing how. So خلصة is the hal of the هو inside يأخذ. So we've seen what did they used to take themselves? How did they take themselves? Quietly. لسماعه جار مجرور. So this is our متعلق to يأخذ to the فعل. في الليل another متعلق. So متعلق بالفعل number 1. And this is في الليل متعلق بالفعل number 2. لسماعه also you can look at it as جار مجرور مفعول فيه because it's answering why. مفعول له sorry مفعول فيه مفعول له. And في الليل you can also look at it as مفعول فيه because it answers the question when. Right? So those are different ways in which you can look at that stuff. But I prefer to just look at it as jar majroor muta'alliq because it's easier. I mean, yeah, you can understand that لسماعه, to listen to it, answers the question why. And you can understand also في الليل answers the question when. Yeah, so you can look at it that way, but it doesn't negate the fact that they're both muta'alliq because it's jar majroor. Is that clear so far?
So ya'khuzuhu nafsahu ilsatan until laili is khobar kana.
The whole thing, yes. From here all the way to fil layli is the khabar of kana. Yes.
Okay.
Sister Ilham, this khulsatan is again a hal, right? Secretly.
Yes. This is also the hal.
And how would you translate this? I was thinking فقد كان كل من أبي جهل وأبي سفيان. So everyone, each one of them, from Abu Jahl to Sufyan to Ukhnas bin Shuraih, used to take, right? Because kana is there, kana has to be matched with it. Then you said he. So they
used to take himself.
Themselves, we don't say him. Like they used to take themselves.
Yeah, you can say like, but we are talking about kullun min, each one of. So we're looking at basically each individual used to take themselves. You can say, yeah, used to take themselves. That's the English way of saying it, really. But obviously in Arabic, ya'khudhu nafsahu, he used to take himself.
Okay.
So again, it's just between English and Arabic. You can, yeah.
Okay, so we can do it like that. Okay. For Rasuli fi time. Okay, sister.
Yeah, I didn't want to say themselves because now you'll ask me, okay, where's the whom? And then, yeah. But yeah, you understand, like sometimes you're going to have differences between translating in English, the way we speak in English and the way we speak in Arabic. Sometimes there's going to be a difference, slight difference. But you when you're translating, translate it in English that is correct. That's the idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I throw in a wrench here?
Yes, please.
Okay, so from faqad kana kullun, can we see this as kana, huwa form, translated as it was, and then instead of kullun, it would become kullan, which would become the khabar of kana, and then from min onwards, it would become the muta'alliq. Is that any way to see it? So it would translate as it was everyone from Abi Jahl and Abi Sufyan and Akhnas bin Shuraih who took themselves.
I think it will complicate issues because in that sense, then you're looking at the huwa inside kana as damiru sha'n.
Yes.
Like the fact of the matter is that, but then still, kullun will have to be the ism of kana.
Oh, even then it will have to be the.
Yes, actually, Sister Fawzia. Yeah, I was doing with the same way the Sister Fawzia was actually Sister Ilham. I don't know how, but that's why I was not able to frame it.
So you're taking kullun as basically the khabar of kana?
Yes.
Kana kullan.
So we could say kana kullan, and then the muta'alliq is onwards from there. I'm just asking.
That's an interesting way of looking at it. I don't see like that, but probably I need to think about it more. For me, because I saw the huwa version, I was like, let's look for an outside dua. Kullu min Abi Jahlin wa Abi Sufyanin wal Akhnas. They look like a good dua. Yeah. And of course, again, ya'khudhu goes back to kullun, which makes sense. Each one of them used to take themselves or himself. So it kind of like goes back. I don't know, because now how would you unite ya'khudhu nafsahu with that, if that's the khabar?
we can take it as a sifa of kullun because kullun is common.
Yeah.
So I think that the translation will be, it was everyone from Abi Jahl, Abi Sufyan, Akhnas, who were taking themselves stealthily in order to hear the Quran at night. So it is like a who over there, you know,
Huh.
while Rasulullah at home was not aware of their place. So I think they are making that sentence construction like that. But it works both the way.
Yeah, I think
Whatever
it
works
works.
easier.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it works.
to me, your suggestion works easier to me.
Interesting.
Okay,
That's an
so we'll
interesting way of
agree
looking
that-
at it. I'm not so sure. I need to maybe look at this template kullun min more. Maybe I'll research more on that, how it is used in Arabic, and if it can be a
Mm.
khabar in that sense. But yeah, it makes sense if you look at it that way. I think
Mm.
it can make sense.
Okay, great.
Interesting.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, alhamdulillah, that was new. Maybe we need to ask BUJ about this as well. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoever sister brought this up, interesting, very interesting. Jazakallah khair, sister. You made us look things different way.
Right. Yeah, that was interesting. As long as the meaning hasn't changed anyway, so the meaning's still the same and the message has been, conveyed. Good stuff. All right. So of course now we come to what Rasul.
Sorry,
Go on.
sorry to interrupt. In hence, it says kullu min.
Mhm.
Kullu. Oh, it's kullu man. Oh,
it's
everyone
man.
who.
That is in Mosul now.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Thank you for looking it up. Yeah.
Kullu man. Why cannot be man then? I'm sorry. I'm just throwing it there now. Kullu man, everyone who.
No, it
Kullu
won't
ma,
connect with
every.
Abi.
Yeah, I was
It
just
doesn't-
reading it. Sorry.
That's good. That's good. I appreciate that you were looking it up. If you maybe had found it, we would have ended this discussion. Alhamdulillah. But that's a good way of looking at it, you know. It makes sense either way. Interesting. Then you have وَالرَّسُولُ فِي بَيْتِهِ لَا يَعْلَمُ بِمَكَانِهِم. So وَالرَّسُولُ, this is our mubtada, and we said, of course, this entire sentence, وَالرَّسُولُ, is a jumla
I'm
حالية.
sorry. I didn't interrupt one last time.
Yes.
In hence, it says kullu min fala wa fala wa fala. So I think that's where we are. And it
Yes.
says as well as A, as well as B, as well as C.
Okay.
Then it says kullu min Arabia wa America, both Europe and America. So I think it is like that. Kullu min fala wa fala. Kullu min Abi Jahl wa Abi.
Yeah, so it makes
As-
sense as the dua. So all of them, Abu Jahl and Abu Sufyan and Akhnas ibn Shuraik, because if they're translating it as both of them, then we will say all of them because it's more than two people. So all of them, and I think that's how I translated it in my translation a while back. All of them from Abu Jahl to Abu Sufyan to Al-Akhnas ibn Shuraik used to take themselves. Yeah. But I think Fawzia's way of looking at it doesn't change anything. It just, the meaning is still the same still.
Yeah, one thing more, Sister Ilham, I need your clarification on that. If you put it on, if you put a nasab, then there has to be an alif there, but I don't see the alif there.
But it's, they were taking it as a mudaf. كل. Yeah, but then
so
again,
if
yeah.
if it was
yeah. Yeah, true. It would be like that.
there should be an alif. It's not an alif, so it's probably marfu.
Yes, yes, that is a good catch. Yes, that is true.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jazakallah. Solve the
Yeah, thank you
problem.
for making us think. Oh my God. We thought there. Alhamdulillah, Samia, for that. That was a good point. Yes. Right. Okay. Any other clarifications or questions before we move on? Okay. Then we have وَالرَّسُولُ فِي بَيْتِهِ لَا يَعْلَمُ بِمَكَانِهِمْ. We said that this is a jumla حالية. So it's a jumla ismiya. وَالرَّسُولُ is the mubtada, it's rafa, it's ma'rifa. So it's the first رفع. That's how مبتدأ في بيته متعلق to الرسول. And then you have لا يعلم بمكانهم. لا يعلم بمكانهم is a جملة فعلية. Okay, and then you have, so you have to ask yourself, what kind of a sentence is this and what is it doing? So this whole sentence, it's basically a جملة فعلية that follows something that is proper. That therefore this makes it a hal. So this part again is the hal of al-Rasul. It's describing the messenger, that he didn't know of their position. How it's describing how he was. He was unaware of their position. Okay, so that's the hal. So we have mubtada. This is متعلق بالخبر. The khabar is محذوف. And then لا يعلم. This entire sentence is a hal. And then you enter inside that hal. It is a جملة فعلية. يعلم is فعل. فاعل is the inside pronoun هو. بمكانهم, that is the متعلق بالفعل. Is that clear? Any questions there? Okay, great. Maybe we can just do the second part, and because time is also running out, Fauzia. Let's see where we will get to, if we can be able to finish the second part.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ولا يعلم أحد منهم بمكان صاحبه حتى إذا طلع الفجر تفرقوا حتى إذا جمعتهم الطريقة تلاغموا. Should I stop here?
Yes.
Oh, it's وقال بعضهم لبعض.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And,
وقال.
No one from them knew about the positions of their
stop there.
companion until the rise of Fajr. They dispersed until when they gathered on the road. Here I have a problem because when I was listening to Ustad, somebody had asked about this, and Ustad had said at-tariq is a file of Jamaathum.
Yes.
And so it's
That's why I put it
tariqu.
tariqu. Yes.
But how does it become? I don't understand, because the English, they gathered on the road.
The road gathered them. That's essentially what it say.
All right. Okay.
And also the other way
and-
you can know that that's the case, because remember, words for the road, at-tariq, sabil, these are feminine words. We treat them
It's
as feminine.
feminine words.
Yeah.
So because it's feminine, Jamaat is feminine, so at-tariqu.
Yes.
Okay. And then, so until the road gathered them and they blamed each other, and some of them said to some of them.
Yeah.
And some of them said to some of them.
Right. Okay, that's pretty much it. So let's break it down. ولا يعلم أحد. So, and لا يعلم, we are looking at a جملة فعلية. So the فعل is يعلم. The inside, the pronoun inside is huwa, and because the inside pronoun is huwa, we look outside for an outside dua, and it looks like ahadun, matches the profile. So ahadun is our fa'il of ya'lamu, and basically no one knew, or no one knew, because we're talking at a past event. Remember we discussed how mudari' is used. We can use mudari' to describe something that is past. So ولا يعلم أحد منهم. Of course, minhum, jar majroor will be the muta'alliq to ya'lamu. So no one of them, or none amongst them, knew bimakani sahibihi. Bi harf jar, makani majroor, makani mudaf, sahib mudaf ilay, sahib another mudaf, and then of course the pronoun mudaf ilay. So that's a connected chain there. So and then so you have that. So this is متعلق number 1, متعلق number 2 بمكان صاحبه, متعلق number 2. حتى, we know حتى means until. Okay. So حتى, until, إذا, until, when, طلع is فعل ماضي. Okay, and we know that إذا, when it comes to the فعل ماضي, pushes the meaning to the future. So we're going to translate this as the future. so on. So حتى إذا طلع الفجر, why am I saying فجر? Because the sun rose. So basically طلع means to appear. طلع means to appear. So when the dawn appeared, yeah, dawn is the one that is doing the appearing. So حتى إذا طلع الفجر, طلع is the فعل ماضي, because the inside pronoun is huwa, we look for an outside dua, which is al-fajru. So until when the dawn appeared, تفرقوا. And again, إذا is شرطية, is أداة الشرط. Remember, that's why we're saying حتى إذا, until when this happened, what did they do? تفرقوا. So تفرقوا will be the جواب of شرط. Okay, so this is the شرط, and تفرقوا is the جواب of شرط. And of course, it's still ماضي. So they left. تفرقوا, or they dispersed. Okay, تفرقوا, they dispersed. Again, you have حتى. So until إذا, until when, again, another شرط. جمعتهم الطريق. So this is another شرط. So إذا جملة شرطية, جمعتهم طريق, that's our شرط. جمعت, it's فعل ماضي, and it's the here version. So we look outside, we see الطريق, it's the outside dua of جمعت, and then whom is the مفعول به, of course. And this becomes our جواب, our شرط, sorry. And then تلاوموا, this is our جواب of شرط. Okay, until when the road gathered them, what did they do? They started blaming each other. تلاوما, this is family 6. تساءل family, and family 6, basically you're doing one thing to another. You're collaborating in doing the action. So they started blaming each other. Yeah, تلاوموا. And of course, تلاوموا being a فعل and a فاعل makes a جملة فعلية. So the فعل is تلاوموا, and the فاعل is the واو, the whom version inside. تلاوموا.
Salam, can you repeat the translation, please? It's not clear.
Okay. So, والرسول في بيته لا يعلم بمكانهم, we'll figure that out. And then, of course, this is continuing. لا يعلم بمكانهم ولا يعلم أحد, and none of أحد منهم, you can translate it as none amongst them. أحد منهم. And because it's jumla, it's nafia, it's negation, that's why I'm saying none. أحد منهم, one of them. لا أحد منهم, basically none of them. That's basically what's happening there. So لا يعلم أحد منهم, none of them knew بمكان صاحبه, none of them knew of the place of his صاحب, his companion. حتى, until إذا طلع الفجر, until when the dawn appeared, تفرقوا, they dispersed. حتى إذا جمعتهم الطريق, until when the road brought them together, basically. So they met on the road. But here, the way the author is saying is like the road, they were on different roads, and then somehow they just happened to be on the same road. That's kind of like what's happened. So the road is the one that brought them together. Yeah. So until when the road brought them together, they started blaming each other. Is that clearer?
Salam, ولا يعلم, none of them knew. Because we are portraying a scenario, that's why لا يعلم, we're translating into a past tense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the usage of mudara to describe the past. So it's a past event. That's why I'm translating it as the past. Yes.
Okay.
Great. Alhamdulillah. Since it's almost time, I
Is
think we
it
can stop.
describing? Is it describing them? So is it a hall of them?
Yes. You can look at it. You can look at it as just
'Cause if
like
we
a
s-
new sentence.
Because we said لا يعلم بمكانهم as a hall of Rasul.
Yes.
Then this is very similar. So this could be hall of them. And maybe that's why it's in the past tense also. Because they're all, I don't know.
So the reason why, I don't know if you remember or if you watched the class where we were looking at the different usages of mudari and madi.
I did.
said-
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So one of the usage in which we use mudari is to paint, is to describe something that happened, like to create a vivid imagery. Yeah. So we are using mudari to describe something in the past that already happened, but we're using mudari to just make you like see the image clearly. I think that's what he's doing here. He's using the mudara to paint an image in the past. Yeah. And that's why I'm translating it as in the madi, in the past. But yeah, maybe you can look at it as the hal of it. That means this is going to be a very long hal, by the way, because this whole thing is pretty much connected, more or less. Like it's the same discussion going on. So it's easier if you just look at it as a new sentence. لا يعلم أحد منهم بمكان صاحبه. Like none of them knew the position of each other or the position of his companion.
And then hatta is how is that connected to, or that's both these hatta, are these mutalik?
Hatta is a harf. So this
Right.
is just basically new sentence. Like new sentences, yeah. Yeah.
I think now we can understand it, but grammar is another level.
Yeah, the structure in this book is just crazy. You can see how, like, for example, this sentence, this whole part is just a mubtada. Like this entire thing is a mubtada. So that's what makes it crazy. Because we know mubtada is just an ism. Yeah. Al-kitabu jadidun. Mubtada khabar done. But then here you're looking at a very complex mubtada, a very complex khabar, a very complex muta'alliq bil khabar, and it just keeps on going. But this is even easier. Wait till we get to page 7. Woof. Page 7 has some, yeah. Go on.
It's just matter of the point of translating the text. Usually getting out of the root of understanding the concept, what the author actually want to deliver. In this paragraph, which we have learned so far, here the author want to say that the Quraysh were vicious and were willing to fight, and but they were not having control on themselves. And beside that, Abu Jahl, Abu Sufyan, and all, they were sitting and listening to the recitation of Prophet ﷺ. Is that something he tries to say there? And while they were on the road until morning, is that something?
Yeah, so let me summarize for you what the author is trying to say. So remember, he started before, he was talking about how the Quran tried to challenge them and they couldn't. And they actually, thought that going to war, أن سبيل الحرب والدماء, that actually spilling blood and going to war was easier than just challenging the Quran. And, and they used to be impressed by the Quran. They used to find it very impressive. They couldn't challenge it, and it was mesmerizing for them. And in fact, much as the guys, the Sanadidu Quraysh, the ones who were vicious in trying to fight the Prophet and trying to stop him and trying to harm him and trying to do all these things, the vicious ones, the Abi Jahl, the Abu Sufyan, the Al-Akhnas, these guys, they couldn't even control themselves. They were on the forefront trying to fight the Prophet. But even them, they at night, what did they do? They used to sneak slowly to the house of the Prophet ﷺ when he was praying tahajjud and listen to the Quran. They couldn't help themselves. Like, it was that mesmerizing. It was that powerful for them. Like, during the day, they would tell people, go make noise, go make noise so that the Quran doesn't reach the ears of people. They would hire poets to go and disturb the Prophet ﷺ when he's reciting the Quran, when he's doing da'wah. They would do all these things. These are the leaders of Quraysh. They used to do that. But at night, they would sneak and go listen to the Quran because it touched their hearts. Subhanallah. So this is what the author is trying to say in this paragraph, that even the ones who are fighting the Quran and the Prophet ﷺ the most, they couldn't help themselves. During the day, they are fighting. At night, they are listening. So they did this 3 nights in a row. The first night they did, and nobody, like, you can imagine the house of the Prophet ﷺ. One side you have Abu Jahl, on the other side you have Abu Sufyan, on one side you have Al-Akhnas. They're all listening, and they don't know that each one of them is listening, actually, because they probably came out at different times. They took different roads to the Prophet ﷺ, and they started listening. And then they would listen to it you can imagine, the whole night, until it was done, and they were like, okay, we need to go back home. And so as they go back home, what do? In the middle of the road, they meet each other, and they're like, what are you doing here? And the other guy's like, what are you doing here? And yeah, we'll see that conversation as it unfolds. And they're like, okay, fine, guys, we need to make a pact. We need to agree. None of us is going to come back here tomorrow. And tomorrow they came back. And the next day they came back. And then on the third day, they decided, okay, listen, we really need to stop this. Otherwise, if the guys we are hiring to go make noise around the Quran, if they see us doing this, I mean, basically the plan is foiled. They won't listen to us anymore. So that's kind of like what is happening in this paragraph.
Beautiful summary, Sister Dan. I got it. Alhamdulillah, beautiful explanation.
Alhamdulillah. Great. Any other questions before we finalize and wind up?
I think by this example, he's describing la yamlikuna anfusahum an samaihi.
Mhm.
Right? They
Thinking that
couldn't
the house
control
of
themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm thinking that the house of Prophet is very small. So you can imagine so many people gather his house.
Yeah. But it was at night, so they couldn't see each other, and they were very quiet because they didn't want the Prophet to notice them. And they were just quietly listening and enjoying the recitation of the Quran until it was too late. They looked and the sun was coming up, and they're like, oh, we need to go. Because if somebody sees us, it's a problem. Because these are the leaders,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And at that time, I think it was the house of Khadija. And the house of Khadija was multi-story, like it was a 2-level house, I think. So it was a good house. It wasn't like Medina. Medina was a struggle, but Mecca, I think was, especially when Khadija was still alive.
Khadija house is big.
Not, I mean, not like today's standard big, but yeah, for that standard, because she was a very rich merchant. Yeah.
Yeah, because
so it
I
wasn't-
saw it's quite big, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it was Khadija's house, so you can imagine. For those standards, she was living it up. Yeah. Somebody was saying something else. I don't know if I got everything. Okay, looks like we're comfortable. I think we can comfortably end there. Alhamdulillah. I really, really appreciate you guys' questions and just making me think, and also your support and the way you guys just treat these classes. I really, really appreciate it. Alhamdulillah. Thank you
But
for doing that.
sometimes my question is very silly question, Sister
No, even
Ilham.
the silly questions, honestly, bring them. I mean, sometimes I'll give you a panda answer, but most of the time I won't. Inshallah, I won't. No, I encourage all kinds of questions. Some questions I might not answer directly. I will tell you to go figure it out, and I will give you some clues. But I really, really appreciate all kinds of questions. Just ask me, guys. You don't have to feel embarrassed. You don't have to feel shy, or yeah. And also make me repeat if you don't understand. I really don't care how long it takes us to go through this thing, as long as we're understanding something. You know, that's the whole point. So even if we're just doing one paragraph, that's fine. Alhamdulillah. It's all good.
Yeah.
If
Agree.
somebody can point out to me to some resource about Ism Tafdeel, I can check it again, because I knew these were Ism Tafdeel, but I could not. And I know Tamiz comes with comparatives, but when I was reading this, I couldn't even think of that. So
Yeah, I think we covered. I don't know. We didn't do much details on Ism Tafdeel when we were doing Tamiz. But you know, the only challenge is because this word a'tahum, it doesn't really look like an Ism Tafdeel. When you look at it, you'd be like, okay, what is this? So maybe that's why it is a bit confusing. But you know, other words like ashaddu, akbaru, asgharu,
Yeah.
we are familiar with those. But this one is a bit, because it's new, and maybe that's why you couldn't see it immediately.
no, I saw it as Ism Tafdeel. I just did not see the words as Tamiz.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'll check. I don't know if I have anything, honestly, but if somebody else has some notes somewhere, please share them in the group so that we can all benefit, inshallah. All right. Any other thing?
Enough, I think. already Isha here.
Yeah, it's 8 minutes past. So I think we can stop there. I really appreciate you
Yeah.
guys. سبحانك اللهم بحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم.
Jazakillah
Waalaikumsalam.
khair, Hafiz, Ilham.
Jazakallah khair, Sister Ilham. Assalamu alaikum.
وإياكم.
Waalaikumsalam, jazakallah khair, kathiran. May Allah bless you with your family. You settle down.
آمين آمين يا رب.
آمين. جزاك الله خير.
Ameen.